Hello, my name is Tina Swain. I am a licensed counselor, a relational leadership coach, and I am also the owner of Swain Therapy and Counseling. With this being Mental Health Awareness Month, I wanted to take the opportunity to speak to some people and focus on what their specialties are and how they pertain to mental health. Today, my guest is Wil Gatlin of Gat Tea. He is the founder and owner of Gat Tea, and I'm going to welcome him to tell us a little bit about what exactly Gat Tea is and what it does. Hi, Will. How are you?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm
Tina?
good. I'm good.
Thanks for having me on your show.
Yes, yes, you are
Yeah, before I
welcome.
get started, I just want to tell all of your audience members to thank them for just being and tuning in and being interested in mental health because it's a subject that needs to be talked about, brought to surface. And so just as my introduction, my name is Wil Gatlin. Let me know if I'm not looking at the camera because I'm trying to look at you. I should look here, right?
You can look in the camera, whatever makes you comfortable.
But I just want to be up just because I want to give my audience my undivided attention because
Okay.
this is very important. Mental health,
Okay.
illness, it should be all year,
Hmm.
us talking about mental health. But my name is Wil Gatlin. I am the founder of Gat Tea, and I got into Gat Tea because my daughter got diagnosed as mentally ill at 12 years old. That's how Gat Tea started.
Okay. So what is it about Gat Tea that made you want to develop something for your daughter when she was 12? What is it that you decided to do?
Well, I'm here to say that I didn't invent the wheel, and I just reinvented it. I mean, it's all of the things that we're going through is already have been structured, and we're just not knowing how to deal with it.
Hmm.
So, we live on this earth. I try to teach people how to maintain their body while they're on earth and how to live their life to their fullest.
Okay.
So my daughter had bloated from hereditary stress. Hereditarily, we have a makeup in our system or in our blood that goes down the bloodline. That's kind of like when the doctor asks you, do you hereditarily have anybody in your family that has high blood pressure or diabetes or mental illness? And if you don't know, you'll say no. But we really don't talk about mental illness. So we don't know how to classify ourselves as being mentally ill. So I didn't know my daughter was mentally ill until the test came out. She was mentally ill, and I still couldn't get a grasp on it until I just accepted what they were telling me, and then I did something about it. So guess how Gat Tea came about. I started studying about stress. I started studying about how do you live in the environment. Her stomach had bloated, and when she bloated, she was having no nutrition to the body, and including the brain. So once your digestive system is stopped circulating, or once you're not absorbing nutrition, or once you're not getting good nutrition, which is natural foods, your body can't really run efficient.
Okay, so let me understand. So you said that your daughter when she was 12, she it showed physically in that she became bloated in her belly area, and
Yes.
and by her being bloated like that, and then you had concerns with what was going on with her health or what have you, then you come to find out that she had some mental health conditions going on as well. And you're saying that the bloat kind of hindered things from processing normally as they should.
Well, like I said, I was trying to figure it all out because the doctors were telling me they didn't associate the bloat with the mental illness. They didn't associate the mental illness with the bloat, but I did. I'm like, she's bloated. I was always a little small boy with a bloated stomach. My father always had a bloated stomach. My brother always had a bloated stomach. My uncle had a bloated stomach. So we were like a family of little bloated people. I thought it was normal to
Mm.
be bloated in the stomach. I tell people that I eat a lot of watermelon seeds. I was making up all kind of stuff as a kid. But once you bloat after studying, bloating is called colic, and colic simply means that your stomach is not regulated. So a baby will scream and cry when it's colicky. An adult, it doesn't scream and cry, but it gets irritated. And an adult being irritated in that fashion shows signs of mental illness, but a baby, you would regulate it. Uh, you would birth the baby.
Mm.
What I start studying is the air. The air is what was bloating my daughter. And once you bloat in the air, you have toxicities. And if air stands still, the toxicities come out and manifest the body.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So you have different names for these toxicities. Some you could call carbon, because you'll find the new generational kids with the dark neck, the dark under the eyes. They'll have the dark knuckles, the dark elbows, knee pads. All their joints are discolored by the time they're 12 years old.
Oh, wow.
So you're watching this new generational kids retaining carbon right in front of you, and nobody's talking about it. So our grandparent would keep this carbon off of us with cod liver oil, castor oil, black drops, milk of magnesia, egg slacks, 3/6 of senna, mullein tea, cadmium tea, asphyxia, Father John's. If you're over 50, you know what I'm talking about. Well, I
You
was
I like what you're saying right now, because I can remember my grandmother or mother or what have you, and people, for a child to you're right. If you're not feeling well, they say, "Oh, do you need to go to the bathroom?" You know.
you need to get cleaned out. You need to get
Right,
cleaned out.
right.
Absolutely.
And they would do what needed to be done so that could happen. And then you actually would feel better all around, because you couldn't function well, because you're just not feeling good. So wow. Okay. So you had made that correlation in with
That colic in adults, that colic in adults is the same as colic in babies.
right.
Once a baby becomes colic, it regurgitates. They'll call it spitting up the milk. But if an adult regurgitates, they call it acid reflux.
Mm-hmm.
So all it is, it's the same thing that's happening to the baby. That's why I said I didn't invent this wheel. I'm just doing something about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm teaching adults that not only do you have to regulate the baby, you have to regulate the adult. The adult is a bigger baby.
Right, the adult is a big baby, but I just
That
find
has
it
more, that
interesting.
has more air. That has
Mm-hmm.
more air than the baby. Now the
Mm-hmm.
regulation problem is more complex than the baby, because
Right.
it is manifested in the body so long. Now it's making the human, or the adult human, agitated.
Okay. Okay.
They can't get good sleep. They're not stable mentally. They can't study. You know, we grew up with you are what you eat a good breakfast in the morning. As you know, we have 3 generations of lack of nutrition. We have fake food fed to these kids every day, which is no. I mean, I have my green beans, I have my mushrooms, and I have all of my vegetables getting ready to prepare my meal
Mm-hmm.
that's going to have nutrition in it. I'm not going to eat anything that's fast or in a bag, in a bottle, or a box. I don't eat out of boxes. When I go to the grocery store, I shop on the outer aisles of the grocery store. There's no reason to go in the inner aisles, because that's all made by man. Okay? When that's our structure. You shop on the outer aisles, you go in the inner aisles for your paper cups, your toilet paper, and your dishwashing.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of there and travel around the circle. Your bill won't even be that much.
Okay. Well, I just find it interesting that you've developed this, and like you said, you didn't invent the wheel, you just recreated it, and for it to stem from first your concern with your daughter, then you even started looking at your family, you know, yourself, your dad, your uncles and family and what have you, and then you started making even a further correlation with babies and adults, and then develop your own nutritional view. And I remember when I was speaking to you about doing this interview, I said, well, what do you call yourself? Are you a herbalist or what exactly? And you said you
No,
are
go ahead.
I was a natural nutritionist, right?
What I go by is I love to cook, and I love to eat, and I love to get energy. So my goal is to teach people how to live in the air. This is the biggest message that I want to give. Can I have this 2 minutes?
Sure.
Can I give you this 2 minutes?
Sure.
This is for all the people who have tuned in, and this is going to be the main course of this whole meal that I'm giving you today. When we're first conceived, we conceived in our mother's womb, and we come out into the world of air. I'm going to teach you about air and how to live in the world of air, because that's where you live, whether if you're in your home or outside or in a plane or in a train or in your car, you're in the air. And this air, there's two things that a human body can't retain. That's air and water. If a human retains water, you get inflammation. That's called poor circulation. If you retain the air, that's how you get inflammation, because the air has what we call precipitation, humidity, dew, rain, and snow. So it all comes down to water. It's one, two things that we can't retain. And what I mean by retention, it means sitting still. Whatever you do has to keep moving. If you're sick, they'll say move. If you leave something in the air like food, if your mother cook a meal, she leaves it on the table, she'll call you and say, put my food away. It's in the air. What do you think is going to happen to it?
It'll spoil.
It's going to spoil.
Mhm.
So anytime the air is not moving, it spoils, it rots, it rusts, it contaminates. The air is the most dangerous thing on earth if it's standing still. I hope you're following me so far.
Yes, I hear you.
This standing still air on the stomach will contaminate the stomach foods in the insides. It will stop the movement. And once the movement is stopped, I'll give you three scenarios of what we have with our body. We have what we call a closed system, a hole at the top and a hole at the bottom. In between, we have a closed system. The first example is your bathroom toilet. There's a hole at the top, hole at the bottom. In between is a closed system. Every time you flush the toilet, you're going to hear that sound. And if you don't, you're going to see twirling. And if you see twirling, you got sense enough to go get your plunger and you suck the air up and the fluid goes down. You get your second, your brake line. If you ever get air in your brake line, somebody will tell you you don't have brakes because you have to relieve the brake line. And they're talking about the air that has gotten into this line because the air stopped the movement of the fluid, so it can't push the brakes to stop the wheels. Now you get you a qualified mechanic to bleed your brakes are working again. The last example. If you have your hot water tank go out on you and you want somebody to light the gas, this is how powerful air is. The gas is an air, but God's air will stop the movement of that air. Mm. Until you bleed that line, you cannot light that pilot light, or you will not be able to light that system. Okay. So those are three scenarios. So now how important it is to get the air out of the system of your body, which is for your mother, it was feed the baby, every other mouthful will take a minute to burp it. But when we get older, people tell you to say, excuse me for burping. So now you're not going to definitely go around burping when people tell you to say, excuse me, because that means I've done something wrong. And I believe that the slave masters taught Black people to say, excuse me, because as we all know, white people burp, gas, we be like, oh, they go wherever they want. And we always said that. I don't know if that's a hidden something that we all say, but I guarantee you we say that. And with that, I'm saying that I believe we were suppressed and taught to teach our kids to say, excuse me, after burping or passing gas or doing anything. That's to suppress your body. If I suppress your body, I will rot you, I will age you, I will cause you havoc, mental illness, I will be able to lock you up, put you down. What else do you need? A self what? You're self-deteriorating yourself.
Okay.
So what I teach is this, how to regulate the air and how to then put good nutrition back into your body so you can, I'm 60 years old, so you can have clear skin. You should not have any darkness on your skin. Your whole body should match. The chest should match the center of the nose, here, all around. All around you should match. All of everything should be one color, okay? One color from head to toe. If you find yourself discolored in the knee pads, no darkness. You know you're getting carbon. This carbon trail will cause havoc to your body. And the only way to get rid of it is to get something to burp. And that's what my product Gat Tea does. It makes you burp, pass gas, and it makes you urinate the water off of your body so you don't retain the water, which you should not ever retain. Don't call it thick. Don't call it juicy, good eating, love handle, beer belly. All that's made up. All that's made up. call it stopped up. I done messed around and got myself stopped up.
Mm.
5 minutes. Any questions? Any
Wow.
questions?
Well, oh my goodness. Well, for one thing, I know I am surprised that you are just able to burp automatically. I don't know if have you trained yourself that way or
No, no,
what
no, no.
exactly?
You don't train you. What you do is you keep yourself regulated. So
Hmm.
every time I flush the toilet, you're gonna hear, oh,
Mm.
and that's just what it is. There should not be air in this system.
It
If
shouldn't
you
be.
can't burp, yeah, if you can't burp, you should tell yourself you're sick. And what is
Mm.
this? I'm colic. Colic means I got air and I can't regulate, because the only way to regulate a baby is to
Get it out. Get it out. You
But
know,
if you can't burp, then you're sick.
I find it interesting too what you were talking about in regards to people being or young or children being told to say excuse me, or even they kind of have to stifle their burp or passing gas or what have you. And it's kind of synonymous to some conversations I've had with people lately, because I also feel not as it pertains to your physiology, but I think as far as it pertains to your communication, because children, when they're little bitty kids, when they start talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, they just say what they want to say. They just say it. But then as they're getting older, then the parents say, shh, don't say that. Shh. Don't do that. Don't shh, shh. And the shush, 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 shushing the kids all the time. And the kids take that in and they become these adults that hold all this verbal stuff in that they would like to say. And I'm not saying in regards to being mean or cursing somebody out, or being bad verbally, so to speak, but just it can just be anything. And so the adults get so used to being shushed and they hold it in, and to the point where it's socially acceptable that they can let it out. So that's why, to me, you see the seniors or whatever, they're like, I'm 75 years old and I can say what I want to say because they've been keeping
Finally.
all their life. And I feel like, don't keep it in. If you're not doing anything hurtful to the next person, you're not cursing them out, you're not, being mean about it. I think people should be able to say what's on their mind to say. But
No, you know something? Let me cut in real quick and I'll give them enough real quick. And it has really nothing to do with what you're saying, but it has something to do with delivery and helping to understand mental illness. So stress will come into a person's life. And what I teach stress is hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, and touching in a negative way. So when you're speaking on, say whatever you have to say, but if you have people you love, people take in, they hear things that you say. Hope it's not negative. That's all I wanted to say. Because if you're saying something negative to people you love, it's going to make them sick to their stomach and it's going to bloat them. So the message here is stress is hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, and touching in a negative way. So anytime you use your sensories in a negative way, you're going to get bloated because that's how God runs you. God made us to live in a positive way. He made us to live in a loving way. We're supposed to be helping each other, loving on each other, and nurturing each other. And so I'm going to say that I want to show you this stomach here. Stomach.
mm-hmm.
This stomach should never have air on it, because when you have air, that's your sign of you've gone under stress. And when you bloat, it should be here. It should be soft. So should be jelly.
Okay.
You feel like this and you can't do that, you are bloated.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I've
I mean,
seen
it's simple.
that
It's
a lot.
simple. Yeah, that means you have gas on your
Mhm.
stomach. You're contaminated, and the mind will go up and down. But I do want to say this for the men, because men are one of the last people to be involved with mental illness. We all have supposed to be strong-minded and strong-willed, and we're supposed to take it and don't show your emotions and everything like that. And I think that's the part where Tina's saying, let it out.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you don't hold all of this in. But I just want to say this to all of my men out there. I know it's Mother's Day, but this is very important for you guys. Men are always on menopause. We never menstruate.
Mm.
And this might be the first time hearing this, but you act the way a woman acts when she gets on menopause all your life. Okay? I just want to let y'all know that. If
I
you
don't
look
know
at
what that means. You're gonna have to clarify that. I have no idea
I'm
what
going to
that means.
clarify. If you look at a little boy, if you look at any mother who has a boy and a girl and they're both at the mall, I guarantee you the little girl is more composed than the boy. The
Mhm.
boy is needing his mother's attention, snagging on her. Mama, look, falling on the floor. That little girl is so contained and so well mannered. What I'm saying is that her body is preparing to menstruate, and God gives you a way to cleanse once a month. And when you cleanse, I could never figure out why women be talking about my friend, or I miss my friend, or whatever. I'm like, because you feel better. You feel better, actually feel better after you cleanse your blood that month. You feel like, and then I'm like, whoa, who are you?
Okay, I can't. That's like way a whole nother thing that I cannot
Yeah,
even speak to,
that's
acknowledge,
okay.
or anything in this regard.
This was for men. This
Okay,
was
right.
so
Okay. Well,
men.
maybe the men get it. Maybe the men
Men,
understand where you're
I'm
coming
asking
from.
you. I'm telling you sincerely, you know how we could get up, down, easily angered, short, patient. We have to control ourselves all of our lives. And all I can say is try to detox your body, try to cleanse your blood because you never have your blood cleansed. It never releases from your body, it's always internal. Detox your blood, detox your stomach, detox your water, get some type of detox and cleanse yourself out. I do saunas.
I thought you were when you said this is for the men, what I thought you were going to address, because I noticed this at men at 35,
Mm.
that it seemed like when they turn 35 they just let the bellies go, and I, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And it seemed that prior to the, not all men, so hopefully the men folk won't come after me in this regard. I'm just telling you what I see because I like looking at men. So but I saw that the bellies would just be big, and not only big, robust, rotund, you know, just hard to and I'm like, that I don't know what's going on with that. So that's what I
Well,
thought you
that's
were gonna.
stress. That's stress. A lot of our men, we hold a lot of stress. That's why I'm saying that the stress, first of all, a man in general, black, white, purple, green, whatever, is a stressful human being because we are always on menopause. We never menstruate. If 90%, what I've studied, I'm 60 years old, 90% of our women outlive our men by 20, almost to 25 years. I lost my father in 1994. My mother just died 5 years ago. My dad was 63 when he died. My mom was 99. She was 89, 90. So you see the difference?
Mhm.
That's 30-year difference. So I'm just saying, but if you look around at the malls, you're going to see a lot of little old women. And I did a seminar one day. I was out at the malls doing my Gat Tea thing, and I would always ask. I see the little ladies walking around in the morning. I said, "Where's your husband?" "Oh, I lost him about 20 years ago." "Oh, I lost him 10 years ago." "Oh, I lost him 15 years ago." And all I'm saying is just be aware of that, man. Why are we being lost so early? Because of the stress level, the bloated stomach, the toxicities. We don't cleanse. We have to hold up this whole empowerment that we're rough and tough and have to take care of, the mental of it. And that'll break you down enough not to break yourself down and be passionate. Some people so packed, so rough and tough, they can't cry at the funeral. I'm
Well,
just
I hear you on that. So tell me a little bit more about your Gat Tea, and then tell me how can people, obtain it if this is something of interest to them.
Well, Gat Tea, let's see if I have a bag open right here ready for you. I think I have a bag. It looks like this. It's a stress relieving tea, and it's made of 5 herbs: peppermint, ginger root, fennel seed, eucalyptus, and hops. Those 5 herbs, the fennel makes you pass the gas, the eucalyptus makes you urinate, the houseflower makes you burp, the peppermint calms the stomach, and the ginger relaxes you. But all 5 of these herbs was written by a doctor, not me. I took, I went to study, and everything is written in books. All you have to do is read, y'all. You know, a doctor had wrote a story about them giving. This was back. I read it. I read the book in 1999. But it was about the doctors was writing a story how they were giving minority children. They called it back then ADHD medication, and they were basically getting bad nutritional value that they were eating, and they were unregulated and stopped up was contaminating these children so that they would give them medication to calm them down, because you can't really perform off of Cheetos and pizza and hot dogs and hamburgers all of your life. That's why your grandma sit there and drink the green liquor.
Mhm.
If you know what I'm talking about. So
Look up from the greens, collard greens.
yeah, for the collard greens, she drink the whole. Give me liquor. Wait, save the liquor. Remember, save liquor.
Hmm.
But the tea helps you get rid of the gas and the bloating that we accumulate from this stress that we work day. So I try to get people to know about it. We have it at Sunrise Health Food Store, Southtown, Bon Sante here in Illinois. Or if you're not in Illinois, you can always just order online at gattea.com.
Okay, can you spell that for us? The web.
GATTEA, and the website is gattea.com. Just as it's
Okay.
spelled GATTEA, and the website is gattea.com. If you want to call me 708-362-5135, or you can use my cell number because people sometimes I'm not in the office, 773-559-2053.
Okay. All right. Well, I was just about to wrap it up. The Zoom popped up saying that my time is running low. I just wanted to find out anything else that you want to share with us about the Gat Tea. Well, I'm curious to know what have some of your customers said. What have been some of their
Oh,
benefits?
we have thousands of testimonies online. I had a young lady just last week start with Gat Tea, and she was bloated. I actually met her in August, and I saw her in one area, and I saw the discoloration. I saw everything that I just described, and I cornered her and told her who I was and told her to check it out. And then I actually gave her a bag. That's what happened. I gave her a bag. She has been raving about it. Join my Facebook, Gat Tea. You can see all of the testimonies of people coming back saying, what is done for them. But mostly in the first bag, you'll get burping and passing gas. First 30 days, 5 to 10 pounds of boo-boo off your stomach. All I can tell you is I'm the boo-boo man. I teach people how to use the bathroom. I thank God every day for giving me this job. I feel like Noah,
Okay.
Noah, he had to tell people about it was going to rain,
Hmm.
think about the sickness in the air, and here go Corona coming. It's all in the air.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, that's very good and very interesting, and I'm glad that people have seen the benefits of Gat Tea, and they're feeling better. And I even mentioned to you before, because when we were talking about skin once, and I think I might have told you with me, dating. I'm single, so dating, online dating, and what have you. So, and even looking at the pictures of people, looking at the pictures of the men, and they would have like they would might have a beard, but it's dark right here, or it's very dark around their neck, or it's very, and it would occur to me, it would make me think, what's going on, that they have all these dark splotches all over, and I just thought that they needed some exfoliation, that they needed a facial or something, but from what.
It's just the same as the
Mhm.
tailpipe. The tailpipe is not burning proper fuel and it's letting out bad carbon emissions. So the body does the same thing. Everybody has a carbon trail. Everyone has a carbon trail, and that's why we need emissions.
Okay. Wow. Well, thank you once again. And so again, for anyone listening, again, this is Wil Gatlin, and he is the founder of Gat Tea. You can order it at Gat Tea, GATTEA.com. And again, my name is Tina Swain. I am the owner of Swain Therapy and Counseling. I am a licensed counselor and a relational leadership coach. And you can contact me for a consultation at www.swaintherapy.com. Again, that's SWAINTHERAPY.com. Thanks so much, Wil, for joining me. Hold on
All
one
right,
second.
thank you for having me.
I'm going to stop the recording and talk to you in a second. Thank you.